line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Lights are on, and there's a few drivers home and ready to go here on Pizza Race TV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newton, Iowa here on the show once again here, and welcome to Iowa Speedway with the Super Late Models now take over and invade here with Pushing Limits Racing League in their place and in their set. It's time to get down to the action here, time to get down to some hard racing with 10 of the best from Pushing Limits. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Driver, joining you here tonight at my home track, my homeland, and the place I call home. It's good to be back, and it's good to see my friends, my family here as well on the chat here and on the comment section, as well as down in that grandstand here. But as we get ready for tonight's action here, there's 10 drivers here in the 60 lap main event, ready to put on a show, put on a battle for you at home. So let's get down to it here, shall we? And the number one spot will go to Matthew Offer. That double load is outside. It'll be Tyler Orrick in the 8. Rotor 2 is Robert Kahn. The 21's outside. That will be Nick Kern, the 69. Row number 3 is Chantel Throttle Bottle in the 5. Or outside, Cody McRae and the number 28. Next row number 4, Mike Rideout. Bill Byler, number 76 is outside. It's the 17, Matthew Myler. Final starters, Stanley Bottle in the 48 is outside. Joker Joe Nuttleman and the number 14. We got a locked and loaded gun on this one here tonight, folks. Drivers are prepared to go to battle and headed up on the track. Also tonight, I'm going to introduce you the new camera system we got going on. We got a little camera in the car here. This will literally see our drivers in the actual moment, the actual movement of the car as they work these wheels around. So the little new camera, just kind of get used to, kind of something to see here. Let us know in the comment section down below what you think about it as we go through the race here. If you don't like it, I'll never bring it back. If you like it, I'll bring it back. Feel getting prepared for this one here. You already see Nick Kern trying to warm up those tires, get that car all squared up away, get the tires heated up, juiced up. Again, cold set tires here at Iowa Speedway, not a very smart idea. This track will definitely eat you alive if it's not too careful. If you're wondering why here, we'll take a look at our track tech talk here today. They're about just under 3/4 of a mile in length here. Iowa Speedway, about 5/8 really. This is a short tracks fiasco, fun place to race. Multiple grooves outside, middle, and the bottom side working quite well here. Look for the drivers early on to go to the bottom as they start to break the track down though. And you see a little bit of rubber being put down on the track. You're going to see a drivers kind of mitigate more towards the middle, towards the top end of the track, looking for some extra speed and gain and control to try to not wear the tires out too much. Off of turn number 3 into 4 though, and the green flagman will fly it up high in the air. We're going to send this one on down to our start of the night. Green flag is out. It's time to go racing. Matthew Harder than the double O, as well as the 5 Chantel bottle. I don't think I need to say anything else about those two with these super late models here on this track. Title Metal Racing League really has seen only 4 drivers really come out there and put on a fight, put on a battle, but those two were the only ones that knew how to make these things work to the best of their abilities, and right now they're doing it yet again with these super lates. Hard racing out of the gate here. There's a double O of Matthew Hopper tries to hold that Lightning Wraps 5 RBR car there, Chevrolet of Chantel Bottle. Chantel trying to drive it in a little bit lower here to get a little bit of a run on Hopper, but you can see she's also being very conservative on how she manipulates the car and how she manipulates around the track. Her eyes tell the story, dead focused, dead centered on where she wants to play this thing in, and she's got company behind her. Tyler Orrick and Nick Kern in a little bit of a frenzied battle here. Orrick kind of falling back a little bit here as now comes the number 6 of Robert Kahn. Still can't seem to get that number changed around here. He's supposed to be in the 21. Apparently he decided to steal Mark Martin's car out here. Mark, I'm sorry, bud. I tried to stop him, but he kind of just ran off without it there. I'm sorry, buddy. Through the ends right now, everyone kind of getting into a bit of a steady stream, steady pace here. Again, they don't want to overdo the tires out of the gate. They want to try to let the car kind of settle down, let the track come in. They need to be very concerned about whether or not they overdo and underestimate this track here, because again, there is so much speed to gain, there's so much momentum to really be put out on the track. But that doesn't necessarily mean long-term wise that's going to be a smart strategy. They know one thing is for sure though. If they pace themselves and control this manipulation of the track, then it'll be all good in the end. Onboard camera here for Mike Rideout. The number 76 is Cody McRae here, leads them on by here. McRae doing not too terrible of a job here, to say the least, as they got some problems down there. Unfortunately for the 17 and the 48, Matthew Myler comes to a dead screeching stop here. And it looks like this might have been due to some circumstances coming off the ends of turn number 3. Let's take a look at this. Pass on Joker Joe Nuttleman in the 17, and Nuttleman, a little hard to tell from that angle. Looks like Myler came down and Nuttleman was coming up, and then Stanley Pottle got right in there in the mix. There is a caution out as well here, so be aware of that, folks. Let's take a look at it from the replay here. Caution is out, so we're not missing any of the action at the moment here. '17 was definitely loose. Nuttleman, I don't think, meant to get him, but you can see once you get that speed and then take that hit, well, that's a different story to say the least there. So Myler loose off turn number 4, unfortunately, with Nuttleman kind of tagging him on in. Drivers will have to regroup, reset, re-rack, restack, and all that. So that first caution of the day here definitely kind of brings everyone back to an even playing field, even battleground. Colin, by the way, decided to start in the outhouse and just kind of made his way through the White House. I guess that's kind of his style of race at this point, is he just wants to not only go out there and race the best, but he also just wants to show he can be the best by just completely diverging everyone and everything in his wake. So double filed up here at the moment, everyone getting squared away out on the track. And it's got a bit of a crowd coming on board here tonight as well. Thank you so much for those that are tuned in with us here. It's been a wild, chaotic last couple of days, to say the least, here on Pete Series TV, not just inside but outside the world. things could be looking a little bit better, and they can definitely get a little bit easier. But I'll tell you right now, the folks here in Iowa, we're hurting a little bit still from the tornadoes that struck us here just a couple of days ago, unfortunately. So our thoughts and prayers are out there with with our friends and families as well. We unfortunately have lost a few lives in this waking process, so never take for granted what it's like out here. Never take for granted how strong the community can be and how strong the world can be here, not just from the town and the Iowa racing community, but just in general with everyone that plays a part in these events. So it is kind of fitting, though, to be able to come out here and watch this race here and come out and see these guys and gals put on a battle, put on a show for those at home, obviously, and definitely trying to showcase some love and some support to them. So drivers right now trying to get squared away here, trying to get focused up yet again, and even trying to find the rhythm here. Guys like Cody McRae here in that 28 here at the moment, just kind of staying dead focused, dead even on himself, and looking to try and see if maybe there will be some momentum for him later on as he pilots up the Mustang. Kind of a sweet little black and orange scheme too. It kind of reminds me of a Halloween look, if you will. Doesn't it? Doesn't that seem like kind of Halloweenish to you guys? I don't know, I think you probably would have been better off having that on like Halloween itself, not instead of here tonight in the middle of, well, actually not even the middle, but the beginning of March. Well, anyway, we're double filed up on the restart zone now. We're getting ready to get these guys and gals back in line, back in shape, back on the track. Yeah, Kern, Robert Kahn, two of the heaviest hitters here in this Push the Limits Racing League, about to go back at it. Heavy artillery going to be thrown their way, thrown out on the track here as they bring these beautiful looking super late model cars on back out on the stage. And I'll go out and say this now, it's kind of a tie between the street stocks, late models, and the super lates on my personal favorite look of the cars out there. These things are absolutely a blast to watch and definitely a fun design to see. At least on the asphalt side of things. I'm not getting into the dirt as well, but asphalt wise, I'd definitely say those are my top three. No offense to any of the NASCAR fans out there, but I don't see these cars enough, and I don't see them nearly as much as I would want to. So I got to show a little love to them. But as we bring them back to the green flag, flying high in the air, these drivers are going to have a lot more at stake than just trying to make a few easy passes out of the gate. They're going to have to now try and figure out that pit road strategies. They're going to have to figure out the fuel lines here because, again, Hofford and Chantel, they went in at a very indiscriminate time. They knew there was only about a 50% fuel line limit on that window, so they know the guys that go up for front, they're going to have to go into pit road here. And when in doubt, that changes the game plan up unless another caution can come on out. But with the way these drivers work, I don't think they're going to be making too many more mistakes here. Coming right off the ends here right now, Matthew Hoffer in the double O now putting some filter time. Chevrolet up in the front here as he goes right to the field, right to the corner zones. Joker Joe Nuttleman is next on his agenda and on his list to try to pass as we go on board with him. See that focus, that determination, working the wheel, working everything on in, trying to find any kind of rhythm, any kind of soundproofing in that machine. See if he can pull off some serious speed and control. Chantal Pottle doing much of the same here, and noticing how Joe Nuttleman is going way too deep into those corners on the bottom lane. He has to drift up higher. That's going to burn a lot of tires up here and get him really too warmed up and shred the rubber down on the track. So she knows with that mindset, with that engaging, she can actually get a good run off here and actually start to kind of close the gap on everyone. The more that they burn up, the more they shred, the better she has a chance of taking this one away from them. Another bobble there by that number 14 here, and you can see the 5 sneaking her way on in, trying to get an easy pass here. She does not want to try to run him dirty and get a bumper run in here. She usually is pretty aggressive when it comes to the last bit, but she will not try to do anything too crazy until she absolutely has to. Runs it clean, runs it deep. The number 8 of Tyler Orrick right now trying to hold back that 5's momentum here, as Matthew Hofford already did to him earlier. Fresher tires in that double O is completely showcasing the speed and control to knock down the likes of that number 6 Valvoline of Robert Kahn. And the Rattlesnake right now in deep, deep trouble of being bit his own way. And look at that in the double O right there. You heard what I said earlier on about him going up, drivers kind of mitigating up towards the top side later on in the race. That's exactly what I was referring to there. You see literally the movement and travel being done up there by Hoffert. He's trying to go up towards the top half to conserve the tires a little bit, but also not, instead of having to drive the line in too quickly, damage a bit on the 21 of the 6 of Robert Kahn right now, as the Mopar 69 and Nick Kern continues to lead him on in. This is a great battle right now, engaging for first, the 6 of Kahn. Now looking to close the gap even more, looking to send it on its way. The bottom line has the fastest of speeds, but it also tears up tires a little bit more. And Kahn now noticing also a big flaw going to the bottom when you're trying to pass someone that's up top. You need the run from the bottom to get to the top. And without that top, you have no speed to make the clean cut pass. Kern knows this. He's forcing him to stay right to that middle section. Hoffert is loving every minute of this because he knows he can just let them fight, let them destroy each other's cars up, and pretty much take it from there. No troubles right now for that number 00 of Matthew Hoffert. But Kern right now, I guarantee you, is probably sweating some bullets down there and realizing what these drivers are doing to him. I mean, as a driver right now, my first thought is nothing else but just work that wheel like he is doing right now. Look at him just get that grip, really stand that thing into the throttle. You hear him throttle rhythming it extremely carefully, but also fighting the G-forces, fighting the overall control of that car. These Super Late models, when they start to burn up a bit, those tires start to go away. That steering becomes very lighted. It becomes a little bit harder to actually grip and get a handle with and grip, because the front tires that control the steering mount valves and everything in between of the steering pinions, they then start to eclipse, kind of almost, if you will, kind of just disappear without a trace. And all you can feel is just the absolute heat and moisture that comes kind of from that rubber and that track side as well. Kahn with a clear cut pass in the 6.9, the 00 Hoffert now looking to make him pay for that. Looking for a huge runoff. Kern, you can see, burnt tires in too quick, and now he's lost all his momentum. And watch out for that 5 Chantel Pato coming up from behind. Well, now things are getting a little bit more crazy, a little bit more heated around here. That much, that's for sure. McRae looking to try to gain up on Nuttleman. Joker Joe trying to hold the number 14 down on line, while the 28 looks for some run, looks for some extra boost and power. Great speeds controlled, great counter active enters, and really hard racing to say the least here by all involved. But again, you know, how much really have tore up on these cars? How much of these cars have they really brought down to the ends here? I'm having a hard time kind of figuring that out, because again, you can see even McRae, difference between him and Nick Kern earlier. They're having to fight off a lot harder as he makes that little bobble in turn number 4. Got into the wall protection here. Mike Rideout will make him pay in the MRN 76. Half Canada, half Americans on the race side today. Kind of evens itself out, to say the least here. Kahn right now, despite his little battle with 69 Currents, doesn't seem to be affected too much by the tire wear. Hoffert made a lot of movement, a lot of racing up to get him. But now he faces an ultimate challenge, trying to find a way around that 6 of Kahn. And Kahn's not going to give it to him either here. You know he's going to try to fight him off and block any run he gets. So that really boils down to then two things. How do you try to manipulate the turn? And how do you try to stay on his bumper and stay right there with him? The filter time 00 looking more and more at sticking in the draft and staying with him. I think maybe he's wanting him to burn the tires up even more than usual. Remember, they had about 12 laps in, although right there, that might be a scary thought here. Hoffert drove that thing way up high, almost into the wall protection, but able to get it down just in time here. He's trying to get a lot more speed by doing that, but the problem is, again, if you take that wall into perspective, he hits that wall, then pretty much his run that he had is pretty much done and over with, because he's going to scrape that car up. And all the aerodynamic flow you need on this big track for these super lates is completely nullified and lost to time itself. You got to stay clever, you got to stay focused out here and not let anything get in your way. Well, you can just see Khan and that dead-eyed determination. There's a reason they call him the rattlesnake. So focused and so keen on proving that he can outrace and outplay every single driver that comes in his wake. A little bit of a battle back here between Tyler Orrick and Nick Kern. Kern burning tires up and shredding him up pretty much to the end of his extent. And the 8 of Tyler Orrick looking to make him work his way on by with a Can-Am number 8. Orrick a little bit more off throttle, off tempo here. I think maybe trying to save some fuel and some tire here, knowing that he can't get as much of a grip there anymore. Seems to be kind of nullifying the run, kind of staying out of trouble here. Bit of a side-by-side battle there for a brief fleeting moment as well between Hoffert and Khan. They saw it in turn number 2 there. They were dead even with each other off that rung and off that spot. But Hoffert was not able to make the pass. Khan blocks it. Tyler Orrick now trying to make a little bit of a run here on the 69. Kern opening the door up. Looking to twist the needle into the heart and twist the dagger on him in the back. Trying to get him right from the back, from the outhouse, buck up to the White House. Orrick looking for an opening. He still cannot get it though. You can see he's trying so hard. He's driving kind of a different line compared to everybody else. He's actually, what he's doing is what we like to call kind of diamonding off the track here. He drives it up a little higher and then straight slingshots it down. So it's not really too much of a diamond move, if you will, more than it is kind of an uphill slope move, if you will. Not really sure what the terminology is on that for racing wise, but I'm just gonna call it up and down slope racing here. Up down slope racing. There you go. There's the term you can use. Orrick has given it everything he's got at that 69, but Kern refuses to back down. And the lap times definitely show it. You can see there's a huge gain on Orrick there, but there was a little bit of a change up there when Kern managed to hold him off. And there he is yet again. He is holding him off slightly here. But Orrick's not going to give out. He's not going to back down from the fight. He's going to be very focused, very keen on this, because he knows if he gives that opening up, he'll lose everything in his power in his run. Speaking of running out the power here, right now the 5 Chantal Powell showing you her little maple moxie here. This is what we like to call saving the fuel and saving the tires for that last big push. 23 laps were made. You can see the ground gained on the double O of Hoffert. Khan is very well aware that she's coming for him too. Those two at Iowa Speedway is literally like a bread and butter match made in heaven, if you will, when it comes to hard racing. Those two never gave out or gave in the NASCAR heat side of things. But on iRacing, Khan has admittedly got the better of all drivers and of quite a few of them for quite some time. He's not unbeatable though, I can promise you that much. I've beaten him a few times, but he is probably, in my opinion, gotta be one of the more dedicated drivers out on the road, on the asphalt and the road side of things. Not so much dirt, but he definitely gets it going here in the ovals, on the ovals and the road courses. Khan trying to still hold back that double O run. Here we go, now battling on the back here though. Orrick and Kern still at it. Mike Rideout even engaging a little bit here. Nick Kern going into pit road, so Rideout now will take full advantage. See that hand movement, that arm work around as well. Every single one of these drivers being very careful not to oversteer, overturn the cars, unlike the next gens where you have to pretty much be almost as smooth as possible to keep them online. These cars you can get away with a little bit, but once you burn those tires up and you lose the momentum, then the run starts to shift and change, and it is a handful and a half to deal with. Khan, by the way, has not gone into pit road. And he's a bit in trouble right now. Look at that bobble there coming off turn number 4. The double O of Hoffert, like a shark in the water, smells blood there. He knows he's got to start tacking on it. The snake gets bit. He's having more troubles. Look at him having all sorts of problems holding that line down on turn number 2 yet again. You see those front wheels just shake left and right. He's having a hard time, and he's having more of a hard time. Rear end starting to kick out. If that rear end kicks out anymore, Hoffert will make him pay for it. He's giving him every opening, but Hoffert is being extremely conservative, not doing anything here. I think he's just playing with him a bit. Maybe hoping he'll make his own mistake and he can just make the clean-cut pass. Khan now, looks like that time around didn't have any trouble. 16 laps remain. Chantal Bottle knows if she wants any chance at these boys, she's going to have to start pushing it just a slight bit more. Especially with that final 10 laps to go. She's going to need all the momentum she can. And Kern finally admits defeat, goes in, but wait a minute, so does the 5. Chantal Bottle has to go into pit road. She did not get the same amount of fuel she needed. Hoffert will. 15 laps remain. Hoffert's going to try and extend the laps out so he doesn't have to be in pit road as long here. The thing about pit road is you've got to get set and you got to get straight in line and in touch with yourself, or this car is not going to work very well in your favor. Some of the other drivers now kind of moving through the chain. Stanley Pottle in the 48 pretty much at this point doing a long-lasting impact here. We'll see if maybe this works out in his favor. Stanley's one of those guys, man, you can't underestimate him too much because he has been known to kind of sneak up on you and kind of take a position away from you without even noticing or even flinching. And that's exactly what he's trying to do, although I could say right now his driving style is interesting for Iowa Speedway, and I'm not trying to criticize anything there, but I mean, he's holding that middle line in that bottom lane like almost I would drive a Wheeler Modified from the SK Series. Not really sure what to say on that, but hey, if it works, it works. I'm not going to judge that part. Hoffert closing laps down. He knows he's going to have a long road ahead of him. He's not won here at Iowa Speedway in quite some time. He hasn't won in the Super Late Model Division since Martinsville Speedway. Back, it was a season ago in the SLM Series up at the Metal Racing League. That night, it would go to him after Stanley Pottle and Chantal Pottle got into it a little bit. And Matthew Hoffert finally having to admit defeat here, goes into pit road. Khan 9 seconds ahead, Kern about 4.5. Same for Tyler Orrick, about 7/10 a second ahead of the 5 Chantal Pottle right now. Stanley Pottle the only one out there still. And he's a full lap ahead of Khan. Alright, I'm not going to say anything here. I'm not going to try to jinx it, but with about 11 laps to go, you don't think for 1 second Stanley's actually going to try and go the extreme distance and win like that, is he? If he does, I think I might have to take my words back what I said earlier. That would be ridiculous, but he can do it. I've said it again. I'll say it one more. He can do it. Gonna have 10 laps to go. Can the 48 Stanley Pottle pull this one off? I don't think any of these drivers, myself included, were thinking that he was going to try this very, very long pit road strategy, this wrong strategizing move. But by golly, he's going to go for it. He's going to go. He'll drive that thing till fuel runs out. I think that's just kind of his plan. Khan is desperately now looking at himself like, am I really going to have to work this one from a fuel run? I'm going to have to burn my tires off to catch him. He's doing everything he can, but again, he's a lap down. Even if it gets back Stanley, he still has to try to find a way around to muscle the field in. Stanley Pottle, oh, he's going to have to admit defeat. That's not enough. Khan will get ahead of him. And hang on just a minute. Hoffert, hold on a minute. He was still ahead of him. He was still ahead of him. Wait. How did I miss that on my timing sheets? What? Matthew Hoffert is still ahead of the entire field here despite going into pit road. Stanley Pottle may have taken the lead from him all that lap or two, but Hoffert going for an extremely, extremely aggressive strategy here on that fuel run. This might work out. No wonder why Khan's trying to catch him. He's trying to push everything to its limits. He's got 7 seconds still to go. I almost guarantee you Hoffert did not take any tires. He got to have only taken fuel. 7 laps remain. It was hard to really tell down here if he did or not. He's going for the extreme. He's going for it though. He's gonna go for everything he's got in this one. Your top 5 on your screen right now. Khan has got to be fuming right now, knowing that he's not getting enough of the laps here. You can see 6, 9 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, and again, a full 6 seconds back. He needs seconds now. He is not looking good. Unless Hoffert slows down even more, this is literally starting to become the 88, the 00 show. Chantel Bottle lap down here. Could not get the car out of pit road. Had a speeding penalty, it sounds like, down there. Nick Kern, Robert Kahn managing to keep their second and third places respectfully. You know, Kahn's been known to really put fuel strategies and tire strategies into good use and good work here, but I think tonight he might have been the one that actually got duped on that end. The 5 Chantel Bottle with one last little runoff here on the 00. Staying down low, looking not to try to ruin his race, but at the same time trying to make that pass in. This little move right here, though, is slowing down Hoffert just a slight bit. Kahn knows he's going to have to start taking advantage of it. And Kern having some glitch graphic gremlins kind of bothering him down there. Things getting a little bit wild here. Things getting a little crazy here. 3 laps left. 5 finally getting around the 00. Kahn is 5 seconds back still. There is no way that he's going to have time unless Hoffer makes a mistake. Off of corners number 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring the green flag high in the air. 2 laps remain. Just when you thought you seen it all, just when you thought you couldn't get any crazier, you couldn't see anything a little more heated than this. Despite my little live timing issue here, I can certainly say right now, the white flag is out. And Matthew Hoffert, outplaying and outbesting some top drivers and some really heavy hitters, may have just found the winning strategy, the key formula that brings a Super Late model car into victory lane. This time, fuel run works. This time, the run will win him the day. At Iowa Speedway, it belongs to Matthew Hoffert. What a performance. And what a race by that 00. I guarantee you right now he hasn't done this in a while. I think he's ready to do it. Yeah, he's kind of telling the story here, a little bit of a tear down those eyes, I bet you. Just thinking about this one and how long it's been. Finally besting Chantel Paddle, finally besting Robert Kahn, finally besting all the drivers on a track that is as tough to win on as it is fun to race. Hoffert just burning this thing into the ground, and he knows every bit of it. Let's take a look at your race results now, popping up on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner, Hoffert, as he just blows the motor. Second goes to Robert Kahn. Third to Nick Kern. Fourth, Tyler Orrick. Fifth, Joe Nudelman. Sixth to Cody McRae. Seventh, Chantel Bottle. Eighth to Mike Rideout. Ninth to Stanley Pottle. 10th, Matthew Myler. That rounds out the field. An impressive race, an impressive battle from the start to the finish. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is now, your race winner here at Iowa Speedway for the Pushing Limits Racing League SLM race of the season. Matthew Hoffert pulls away the W here. Matthew, congratulations, sir. And I know this one has got to mean a lot to you after all the heartbreak and triumph you've had in these super lates, and finally a win here at Iowa over some top-tier drivers.
Yeah, this season has been we've been driving the struggle bus for sure, and you know, coming up short, second, third place. sometimes ending up in the back of the pack. But man, it feels good to get the win tonight, and I feel like I had a little extra passenger with me tonight, and dedicating this one to my girl Maggie.
Yeah, I know there was definitely a bit of a little heartbreak here and a little a little bit of a trouble time here for you and the family, obviously. But man, I gotta believe they was riding with you tonight and definitely giving you a little bit of inspiration to finish this one out.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Not the pit strategy we wanted to start with. We ended up taking right side tires on lap 8 when me and a few others pit, but turned out to work in my favor and put some folks a lap down. I was able to secure the win.
You were able to secure the win, pull off the big race victory here at Iowa Speedway. A super late model win is in your hands now. Who do you want to thank you for that one?
Oh, everybody. PTM Racing TV for the broadcasting. Pushing Limits Racing League, all the drivers that come out tonight, and all the friends and family at home on Facebook. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing y'all next week.
For sure there, Hoffer. Congratulations, sir, and we'll see you come next week as well, sir.
Thank you.
A little choked up here in victory lane, but nevertheless, still with a loving heart and a loving soul. Matthew Hoffert wins here tonight at Iowa Speedway, and a second place finish will go to, of course, Robert Kahn here as he now joins me here in the pit road edge. And Kahn, I mean, main thing here was all about just driving the track. He drove the track, you drove the track, two different ideals, and he managed to outsmart you this time on that fuel run.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job. I mean, he was. I think he took 2 tires, and I couldn't catch him. But I tell you what, though, I mean, it's cool winning and everything. But I've seen Halsey. He's had some bad luck and gotten other people's messes. It's so awesome to see him win. That's pretty cool.
Certainly is indeed. I know definitely you were going for broke, kind of going for the moments or two here in between this race and really looking for some opportunities to strike while you could. But really kind of tell me about this dilemma here, this kind of racing style you had down the track. It seemed like the car was starting to get really loose and get a little crazy here. And at the end of the day, it seemed like when you finally got into pit road, you were able to get this thing to really drag down and fight back again. But how bad was it to hold on to that line to hold the car on place?
It was really weird because on fresh tires, it was really tough to keep on the bottom, and then you would go from a period about 10 to 15 laps where it would really be really strong on the bottom, and then it would just after that it was just kind of all over. But um, at that last run, I pushed so hard to try to catch him. I probably hurt myself more than anything, just being overly aggressive when you got to be patient at that track.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, here's still a solid second place finish for you in the crew. So, with this in mind, that in place here, who do you want to thank you tonight for this?
Everyone that tunes in, I appreciate you. Again, congratulations to Halsey. I was real happy to see that. And we'll move on to the next race. And I appreciate everyone involved in the league.
Absolutely. All right, Robert Kahn, congratulations on the second place finish, and we'll catch you next time out here, bud.
Thanks, man. See you.
See you later, ladies and gentlemen. The Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, comes away here with a second place finish. Nick Kern will come away third here tonight to round out the show. He is declining an interview here today. So we'll just kind of leave it at that and kind of be on our way here. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an honor and a pleasure to call this one in front of you guys. To my Iowa folks, please be safe out there. Please take care of yourselves. I know we've been through some hard times right at the moment, but we'll get through it together, and I hope this race kind of helps out a little bit. So, from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. I would take care of yourselves, and everybody out here, thank you so much. Everyone, take care. I'll see you guys soon.